Hello, my friends. It seems you are a tiger-rabbit person or a rabbit-tiger person. I'm going to interpret that to mean that both of these are important aspects of your personality. And if they are not, then this reading is probably not for you. So let's start off with the tiger. Lunar force, ease in darkness. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. To bring it to balance, Trataka, candle gazing. I believe they're referring to the meditation practice where you sit and gaze at the flame of a candle. And you focus all your attention on that flame. So instead of, following the breath like a lot of meditation practices do, or even just staring at a spot on the wall, you stare at a candle flame. Okay, rabbit. Afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it, so loudly in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. When in balance, sensitive, problem solver, and a good listener. When out of balance, over-explains, talks fast, talks too much. To bring it to balance, a day of silence. Or perhaps the calm and power of the tiger. You have both within yourself, whether you believe it or not. You don't have to believe it right now, but if you try some of these things, maybe you will find more calm and power within yourself than you thought possible. I do hope you can find it. I think I'm going to go with Wild Unknown Tarot today. It's also by Kim Krans, so there's a lot of similarity in the artwork. What does my tiger rabbit person need to know or need to hear today? What message or confirmation? We have the Nine of Swords underneath the rabbit. That is really funny. The Nine of Swords can be about nightmares. It is about being anxious and worried, so much so that you can't sleep. And then we have another nine, the Nine of Wands. But if you notice, these are both in reverse. Let me check the deck. It's not upside down, so they came out the way they wanted to come out, which I find is usually the case. So you have two nines. You have a Nine of Swords, the fear card underneath the rabbit aspect of your personality, and you have the Nine of Wands underneath the tiger aspect of your personality. So the Nine of Wands in the upright is about being worn out, feeling a bit paranoid perhaps, but feeling beat up by life, feeling wary and weary, so tired and cautious, really a little paranoid about what might be coming next, what might be coming for you. It's, like I said, a little paranoid. But in reverse. You really are feeling the rabbit side of your personality is much stronger right now. You are feeling overwhelmed, and the concerns you have are becoming too much for you. Although, it's promising that the Nine of Swords is in reverse, because perhaps you are finally beginning to let go of, well, there may be some guilt here. I tend to see it mostly as anxiety, but you're really beating yourself up about something. So maybe you're feeling really guilty. Yeah. Or your fears. Well, the rabbit brings their fears into existence. They talk and talk and talk until their fears become reality. And that's what the Nine of Swords in reverse can be about. So you are bringing your fears into reality. And you are overwhelming the more powerful, calm side of yourself, which also exists if you would be still and let it come to the fore. So stillness is definitely the way forward for you. A day of silence, that would be, I don't know. I mean, for me, it'd be easy. I've done it before, easily. But for you, it might be a new experience. I wonder how your the tiger aspect of your personality would like it. It might give yourself a chance to relax. I mean, if you stayed home and a day of silence, so no radio. Why did I say radio? That's so weird. No television, no smartphone. Just turn everything off and be silent for the entire day. That means you're not talking. And you should probably choose not to listen to anybody else talking either. Maybe some instrumental music. See, no talking there either. No lyrics. Because it looks like your tiger is having trouble expressing itself. Mostly because you're just not giving it space. You have resilience and strength and power and courage deep inside you. The symbolism of this card, upside down, suggests going down. It looks like stairs. At least that's what it looks like to me. But you're going down. Look, they both have the moon on them. That's fascinating. So you need to go inward. So the moon would represent your intuition. It could also represent shadow aspects of yourself. Or it could represent something else. An inner knowledge, perhaps? This is all sounding very hermity. I'm surprised the Hermit card didn't come out. I really don't want to do any more tarot. I think the message here is, I'm really amazed with this message. Because we have this rabbit who talks their fears into existence, and we have the Nine of Swords, which is all about bringing your fears into existence. Exactly the same message almost. Then we have these two cards, both with a moon on them. both telling you to go within, explore your own darkness, and find the peace and quiet there. All right, let's see what else. I think I'll go with the shaman cards. The Earthkeeper, number 18. The essence. Just as you're involved in co-creating your world, okay, there it is again, you are also responsible for its well-being. The Earthkeepers are dedicated to the stewardship of the earth and all life. They choose to hold the sacred dream of a planet where all beings live in peace and where the rivers and air are clean. Remember that everything you do has an impact for 7 generations or more. The invitation. You have outgrown your small dream of success and achievement and are ready to dream big, with possibilities beyond your wildest expectations. Take on the mantle of the Earthkeeper and reach out to a friend in need whom you may not have been in touch with for some time. Take care of your pets and feed the strays that come by. Clean up your yard, as this is a reflection of your relationship to the earth. Grow the sacred dream, and your personal life will flourish. Remember, it's not about me any longer. The medicine. As you care for your body, you show your care for Mother Earth. So begin with the stewardship of your health. What are you putting in your mouth? Are you feeding on foods and thoughts that are not good for you? Start doing what you know will be good for you today. That's definitely something you need to work on. Although it's an interesting redirect there. But I find that people who are really, really unhappy have lost touch with the bigger picture. And this is definitely a reading for somebody who is very, I'm going to say self-absorbed, but I don't mean it in the way that it's usually used. We're all self-absorbed to some degree because, we have to be. And becoming a better person can absolutely call on you to spend a great deal of time in introspection. But at the same time, you're not doing it for yourself, at least not this kind of self-absorption. If we're talking about introspection, if we're talking about healing yourself, ultimately that will lead to you becoming a better person, more than you are now. And that will benefit the people and environment around you. It's almost inevitable. So healing yourself is something that you can do to help others. It sounds like a paradox, but it is not. On the other hand, and this is equally important, you cannot heal yourself for someone else, not even for your children. And people who have addictions are probably very well aware of this. The people who are on the sobriety journey, I'm not talking about the ones who are actively using, but people on the sobriety journey, well, they would understand this very well because they've done a lot of healing and they will know that it's benefited people that they love. And they will also know that they couldn't do it for those people. They had to do it for themselves. Having a child is not motivation enough to get you to heal. And you can't do it for somebody else that you love. You have to choose yourself, finally. You have to stop and say, I deserve better than this. I am worthy of better than this. And you are capable of better than this. But the reason to do it is for yourself. And that is a perfectly good goal. It is not selfish at all. So I am wishing you all the best, Tiger Rabbit person. You don't have to live your life in fear, and you don't have to manifest your fears into reality. There is a different way of being. The Earthkeeper card is suggesting one way, and there are suggestions here about how to get there from wherever you are now. You don't have to, you can't get there overnight. It's one small step at a time. It's very important to remember that. Healing is only part of the process. You also have to integrate the healing. And it's really, really difficult to do that if you make a big healing leap. And then you have to integrate all that. And that's just really, really hard. And most people fail. That's why people relapse. You need to take small steps, not big ones. I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope you find a positive way to express both the tiger and rabbit sides of your personality. There's things of value there in both of them. The rabbit is very earthy. They like to live in burrows underground, so they would definitely be a good earth keeper. I'm wishing you all the best.